Groceries at No Frills are often 20 to 30% cheaper than big chains, sometimes the same brands from the same parent company. Yet, with grocery profit margins barely scraping 1%, how does this discount giant survive? The answer is not premium products or a fancy experience. It is an obsessive focus on cutting every invisible cost from the moment you park to the checkout beep. But which costs exactly get axed, and what does that mean for the way you shop? A shopper steps out of the car and faces a building that does not try to impress. No Frills stores average from 25,000 to 40,000 square feet, noticeably smaller than the sprawling 50,000 to 80,000 square foot supermarkets common in the suburbs. The first thing that stands out is the concrete underfoot. There is no polished tile, no glossy finish, just a basic slab that is easier and cheaper to install, and even simpler to clean. Overhead, the ceiling is wide open. Pipes, ducts, and wiring are all exposed, skipping the cost of drop ceilings and decorative fixtures. Lighting is strictly utilitarian. Rows of fluorescent strips, no ambient glows or designer accents. Every detail signals a single priority: function over form. Even the shelving is as basic as it gets, built for durability and speed rather than display. There is no bakery with ovens, no deli counter, no floral department, and no specialty stations. The entire space is engineered for efficiency, not experience. Minimal signage points to essential categories: produce, dairy, frozen, without elaborate graphics or promotional banners. The result is a store that costs far less to build and maintain. Industry construction guides and engineering firms estimate that discount supermarkets with this warehouse-style approach can be built for 40 to 60% less than full-service grocery stores of similar capacity. That savings comes from more than just the smaller footprint, exposed infrastructure, concrete floors, and the absence of high-maintenance departments. These choices do not just save money up front. Ongoing maintenance is lower too. Concrete floors resist stains and cracks, basic lighting is cheap to replace, and there are fewer fixtures to break or clean. Every square foot is designed to move product, not to impress. The store itself becomes a silent partner in the cost-cutting mission, stripping out anything that does not directly support sales. This bare-bones environment is the first layer of savings, a foundation that makes the rest of the No Frills model possible. Inside No Frills, the shelves tell a story of discipline. Where a typical supermarket might offer a dozen brands of ketchup or cereal, here there is just one or two. The entire store stocks only 6,000 to 8,000 stock-keeping units, a fraction of the 30,000 or more found in a full-service grocer. This is not about restricting choice for its own sake. It is a calculated move to keep inventory lean and costs low. With fewer products, ordering is streamlined, restocking is quick, and every item earns its place by moving fast. If something does not sell, it disappears. There is no room for slow movers or experimental flavors. Every slot on the shelf is a battleground, and only the essentials survive. This focus on essentials means inventory turns over rapidly. While a conventional supermarket might turn its stock 12 times a year, No Frills pushes 20 to 25 times, especially on staples. Less money sits idle in unsold goods, and waste from expired products drops. Suppliers feel the pressure too. Securing a spot means volume, but it also means risk. If sales lag, the product is replaced. With only 1 or 2 slots per category, competition is fierce, and No Frills can negotiate tough on price. The staffing model mirrors the assortment. It is lean, flexible, and relentless about cost. Stores run with just 15 to 25 employees, often half or a third of the staff of a comparable supermarket. There are no specialist roles, no bakers, no butchers, no deli clerks. Every worker is cross-trained, switching from unloading trucks to running registers, then restocking shelves. Wages typically range from $16 to $20 an hour, competitive for the sector, but the expectation is clear: do more with less. With fewer departments and a tight assortment, the crew covers the floor efficiently. Every shift is built around peak demand, every task focused on moving product out the door. The result is a system where cost control is not just a policy, it is a daily routine. At the heart of No Frills cost discipline is a supply chain engineered for speed and scale. Supplier trucks back up to the loading dock, And instead of a flurry of hands breaking down cases and arranging displays, entire pallets are rolled straight from truck to floor. Most products arrive pre-priced, stacked in their shipping boxes or on wooden skids. This pallet drop system is not just about saving minutes. It cuts labor hours in half compared to traditional grocery setups, where staff might spend hours each day rotating stock and building end cap displays. Suppliers know the rules, deliver in shelf-ready cases, stage in bulk, and accept that their product will stand shoulder to shoulder with just one or two competitors. For brands, the pressure is intense. With only a single slot up for grabs in many categories, winning a spot means volume, but losing it means disappearing from the store entirely. The real engine behind No Frills' margin story, though, runs on private label. Nearly half of all sales come from Loblaw-owned brands like No Name and President's Choice, an estimated 40 to 50%, far above the 20 to 30% typical at full-service grocers. These control label products are manufactured at lower cost, skip national advertising budgets, and are distributed across Loblaw's entire network. The result is a margin gap that changes the math. While a national brand might yield a 10 to 15% gross margin, private label often delivers 30 to 40%. On a store-wide scale, that difference adds up quickly. Retail economists point out that every percentage point of extra margin matters in a business where net profits hover at 1 to 3%. By pushing private label share to nearly half the basket, No Frills can boost gross profit by 2 or 3 points without raising prices. That move can double store-level operating income if costs are held steady. Centralized category management at Loblaw's head office means assortment, pricing, and supplier contracts are negotiated for the entire banner, leveraging the full weight of a $50 billion organization. For suppliers, the message is clear: deliver volume, accept tight terms, or make way for a house brand. For No Frills, the result is a supply chain that runs lean and a margin structure that makes the low price promise sustainable, even when every other cost is stripped to the bone. At the checkout, the numbers behind No Frills' model come into focus. An average basket lands between $60 and $80, less than at most supermarkets, and it is multiplied by a steady flow of 8,000 to 12,000 customers every week. That adds up to $15 to $25 million in annual sales per store. With industry margins stuck at 1 to 3%, a single location might clear just $150,000 to $750,000 in profit over an entire year. There is no room for mistakes. Every cost that does not directly drive sales is stripped away. Loss leaders like milk, eggs, and bread often sell at or near cost, pulling shoppers in with prices that sometimes undercut wholesale. These items do not make money on their own. They are bait for volume. The real profit comes from the thousands of everyday staples lining the shelves, especially private label products where margins run higher. Even with those advantages, the math only works if the store runs lean. A quick checklist of what is missing tells the story. No pharmacy, no floral department, no seafood counter, no in-store bakery, no prepared hot food, no customer service desk, no home delivery, and no loyalty program. Each eliminated service means fewer employees, less training, and lower overhead. The labor model is relentless. 15 to 25 employees cover everything from stocking to checkout, with no specialists and no extra hands. Union drives have surfaced in the past, but with such a small headcount and cross-trained roles, organizing is an uphill battle. Workers describe the pace as intense but consistent, trading variety and downtime for job security and a reliable wage. For shoppers, the trade-off is clear. You bag your own groceries, return your cart for a coin, and do not expect help finding a specialty cheese. In return, the receipt is 20 to 30% lighter than at a full-service store. The entire operation is a balancing act. Sacrifice service and comfort, squeeze every efficiency, and rely on relentless volume to keep the doors open. In a business where pennies matter, No Frills survives by turning small savings into a system that adds up, basket after basket, week after week. As food inflation persists and budgets tighten, every dollar saved shapes how Canadians eat and who can afford to eat. No Frills thrives by stripping groceries to their essentials, but the real cost of cheap food is not always on the receipt. The bargain has never felt more real, more necessary,